worth recording it.
Thank you. The reason is because I'm
You're
standing.
welcome.
Thank you, Irma. I'm standing. I'm quite uncomfortable because I don't have a proper chair. I don't have a proper desk. The lighting is really quite poor because I'm in a hotel room. But it's being recorded, so we'll go with it.
Did you not sit down somewhere
No,
with your laptop?
the chairs are really uncomfortable. It's better for me to stand. The chairs are so not. They're not desk chairs, let's just put it that way. But
Okay.
I am here, I am totally present, and I am exactly where I want to be. So let's go. Step number one. You've heard this before, clarity. Step number one, clarity. Now, when I say clarity, what do I mean? I mean getting clear on what we want. I also mean not just the lofty big dream, which is absolutely important. Oh, one more thing I should say, ladies. Actually, let me do this. Again, because of Wi-Fi, I went out, and everything I say is also a teaching point. Because I'm in a hotel room, I went out the other day and I bought one of these things. It's a portable Wi-Fi hotspot. Why? Because the Wi-Fi in the hotel is not reliable. It works perfectly when I am the one on the call listening, but when I'm the one presenting, it can be a little bit unstable. So this is also a point. If you need to be in a place where you need reliable Wi-Fi and you're not sure, please help yourself to one of these. I got one of these for $80, and then I had to pay another $80 for the actual data, I suppose. I don't know how much it cost in the UK. I think you can get them worldwide. I did think $160 plus tax was a lot for what I needed for this, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So clarity. And when I talk about clarity, we're talking here about from two different perspectives. One is the actual vision, the big dream, the big dream. We've done this exercise before at the spa. And Alina, I know you've done it both in Dubai and a few weeks ago. Emma, you did it a few weeks ago. Irma, you did it in Dubai. It's the big dream, setting the big vision, the goal. Where do we see ourselves? And that is absolutely crucial. But then we also need to break down the path to get there. So, Alina, do you want to share? If you can, you don't need to. Are you able to share in literally, I don't know, 10 seconds what your big dream is? Are you able to share? Are you willing to share?
Yeah, my definite purpose in life is to be an eloquent, assertive speaker and teacher in the field of personal growth and human behavior and human mind.
Perfect. Thank you. I should have said, actually, Fumi was also there in the room a few weeks ago. Thank you for that, Alina. Thank you. So did you say leader? You said leader and speaker.
I said speaker and teacher.
As a speaker and teacher, beg your pardon, thank you. So as a speaker and teacher, so that's the big dream, as a speaker and teacher. It'd be great to get some numbers in there. What does that actually mean, right? What does that actually mean in terms of speaker? Speaking to who? Speaking to who, where? How many people? Are we talking about 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people? And who are these people? So there's the dream, and then there's what does that actually mean in real terms? I want
clarity around it.
Sorry?
You need clarity around it, like break it down into
specificity. Why? The more specific you are, the more tangible you are, the easier it is to measure. You can't evaluate what you can't measure. So if you say, I want to be a speaker and a trainer, what does that mean? Who are you speaking to? Who are you training? What are you training them on? How are you training them? Where are you training them? And this is not directed at you. I just used your example to give us something to work with, Alina. So I I want to impact the lives of 10 million women worldwide. That's a number. That's something we can measure. 10 million women worldwide. That's measurable worldwide. That's literally across the world. How do you want to impact these women? In what area? For me, for example, is focusing on relationship support. So in what area? How am I going to impact these people? And who are these people? So we need to break down, take the big goal and then break it down into sizable, bite-sized chunks that can be measured, that are tangible, so that you know what you're working to. Otherwise, it's lofty, it's ambiguous, it's immeasurable, it's not smart, what we call smart goals. So we need smart goals and we need safe goals. Safe is all the see it, accept it, feel it, emotionalize it. Those are the intangibles. Those are the how do I feel about my goals? And there's a place for that, which is absolutely crucial. But there's also a place for the let's break this thing down so we can measure how we are getting on. Speaking on the TEDx stage could be a goal. And if that were a goal, it would be measurable. And you can then tick it off your list. Am I making sense at all? Yeah?
Yes, you are.
Great.
Yes, you are.
So please let's get clear on what we want. If we don't know what we want, if we don't know where you're going, and let me say this, knowing what you want is half of the battle. So many people, if you ask the average person on the road, what do you want? What do you want for your future? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, in 10 years? The average person couldn't tell you. So we say it here like it's an easy thing, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna write down my goal. It's not that easy. It's a big deal. And this goal, by the way, will evolve. Give yourself grace and allow your goal to evolve and to become more definite. The more you see, the more you step towards it, is the more you'll be able to see it and define it. So if it's a little bit unclear, a little bit fuzzy at the start, that's fine. But then as you start to work on it, it will get more defined, and you will need to then refine it and define it so that you can measure it and you can measure your progress towards it. So that's the first step. Get clear. What do I want? Who am I impacting? How am I impacting them? If you want to be a coach, a speaker, a trainer, where are you speaking? Who's in the audience? You can't be speaking to every single person in the audience. It's not possible. Let's not fool ourselves, right? Not everybody in the audience is your target person. So who in the audience are you specifically speaking to? You may frame your speech in a way that includes everybody, and that is the role of a speaker. But really, you're targeting just one person. We need to know who that person is. Let me say something before we move on. People sometimes say, but my message is relevant to multiple people. It may be, but who's the one person who, if you don't capture that person's attention, you failed? So as a knock-on effect, as a bonus, somebody else may listen to your message, hear words, and be impacted by them, but that's not who you're really speaking to. They're a bonus. They're not your number one person. We need to know who that number one person is. My number one person is a woman who has achieved success in one season of her life, but she knows that there's more for her to deliver to the world. If I impact a man, it's a bonus. I'm not looking for him. If I impact a 30-year-old, hashtag Vanessa, it's a bonus. I'm not looking for Vanessa. I will never turn Vanessa away, but I'm not looking for Vanessa. if I reach Vanessa and I don't reach my target woman, I have failed. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yeah. So that's clarity, number one. Number two is courage. Courage is huge. Courage is the one thing that stops us in our tracks. So we get clear. We know what the big vision is. I know my big vision. I know I'm looking for 10 million teachers, 10 million students, 10 million millennials, 10 million teenagers. I know what I'm going to teach them. I know what I'm going to tell them. I know how I'm going to teach them. If we don't believe that we're capable of reaching them, and that we're capable of reaching 10 million people, and that they want to hear our voice, we won't do it. Here's the thing about courage. Very rarely does courage come and say to you, I don't exist in your life. It's not going to say that. That would be too easy. What courage does is it finds your point of weakest domination, your point of challenge, and it will prey on that. It will tell you, you're too old, you're too young, you're too rich, you're too poor, you're not educated. Your husband told you that you weren't good enough. Your children told you that you're stupid. Your father told you when you were younger that you would never amount to anything. Your teacher at school told you that you were dumb. Your first boss told you that he wished he'd never hired you. And the list goes on and on. And courage will talk to you in a way that you will believe it. Courage is the one thing that will stop us from reaching that goal. And I say it again, but courage will never come and say, knock, knock, I'm Courage. You don't have me. It won't do that.
Can I ask a question?
Please. Please.
So how do we find it? How do we let it in? Through the back door?
No.
The front door? To the side door?
Doesn't matter which door. How do you let it in?
Yeah.
First of all, acknowledge. Acknowledge that you have been feeding yourself lies. Acknowledge that you have been feeding yourself lies. Do you remember, Alina? You have done this exercise more than once with me. You've done the Coke exercise before. What did we do with the Coke exercise? We fed ourselves more of who we were when we were born, before life told us who we were. Feed yourself, go back to who you were. Go back to the person that you were when you were created. Now, can you imagine if you're standing in front of your maker and you say to your maker, I'm too stupid? What would your maker say? Yeah, exactly, Mary Rose. What would your maker say? I'm stupid, I'm old, I'm young, I'm thin, I'm fat, my hair's short, my hair's thick, whatever. What would your maker say?
The maker would say, you are a masterpiece because I made you.
And you are my co-creator.
Your maker,
that's a beautiful answer.
You are perfect in my eyes. Your maker would say, I have made you to fulfill a purpose. Just the way you are is the way you need to be to fulfill that purpose.
So we go back to the real thing.
Go back to the real thing. Go back to who you are. It's that simple. Well, I say it's that simple. It is that simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Please.
It's so funny, like this evening, and I just say to myself, the one that that created me said he has created me in his image. And I know his name is Elohim. So I said to myself, I will spend some times to find his characters. And I will be one with what I see. And that's what I'm going to confess.
That's it.
Knows what he's doing, never made a mistake, speaks and it comes to pass, have authority, is not afraid of anybody. He creates. So I just said to myself, I need to work it out. I need to just, as you said the other day, that we should embody the message. I said, I will go back to his message and I will become one with his message, just to strengthen myself, to rebuke, to resist the lie and accept his truth regarding me. It's so funny. I was doing that exercise today.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary Rose. You've actually been studying, because you use the magic word embody. So there's something called arrested development, right? Arrested development in transformation. When we're born, there's no child on earth. There is no toddler on earth who does not believe that they are enough. That toddler doesn't exist. Right? When a toddler is hungry, a baby, they will scream the place down until they get the attention that they need, whether it's food, whether they're wet, whether they're dirty, whether they just need some love. They will scream the place down because they believe that it is their right to get into your space and have you come and attend to them. And then we journey through this thing we call life. And as we do so, external influences start to seep into our consciousness. And we're told that we're too much, we're too this, we're too that. And we start to believe it. And after a while, we start to embody the person that we are told we are. And we let go of the person that we were. And if we do this for long enough, we will not ever believe that we are worth it. We've also looked at that iceberg. Alina, you've definitely done this with me. The iceberg. Everything you see above the waterline is what you see above the waterline. What you don't see is all the stuff happening underneath. Everybody you see who is a success, everybody you meet who is a success has done work that you see above the waterline. You don't see what's happening below the waterline. You need to work on your below the waterline stuff to grow you above the waterline stuff. When a house is built, for every layer of the structure, there's a layer below the ground. For every layer, for every story, that's what it's called. For every story of a building, there is a story below, right? So for a 10-story, the higher up the building, the deeper it goes underneath. Why? Because the structure beneath has to hold this giant beast on top. So a bungalow has one layer. A 10-story has got 10 stories below. What's my point? If you need to be a giant in the world, you need to be a giant below. Go down deep within and build yourself up for where you're going. Otherwise, a little bit of wind will knock you off course.
We need to drill down.
Say that again?
We need to drill down.
And I dare say, ladies, I hate to say this, but I will. For all of us on this call, we all suffer from that. All of us. All of us.
May I add something, please?
Please.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, yeah, definitely me. And I think sometimes we're in a place and we don't know how to move from there. How do we move forward? And I know earlier you were saying, you know, if you have a dream, you know, you define it. And because it's just like saying, oh, I'm going on holiday next year, until I actually pick a spot I'm going to, start to budget towards it and all those things. You know, I can say, I'm good, I just want to travel. I'm not going to travel until I know where I'm going, right?
Yes.
And then what are the steps? And I think one of the things that has helped me, not at the moment, because at the moment I'm going through some stuff, but one of the things that has helped me in the past is actually having a planner with the steps. So I've picked the destination I want to go, and I'm using the destination as of travel as an analogy. But I've picked that destination, and then I'm thinking, what are the steps to get to that destination? So you have to have a planner and write it in your planner with the steps. To get to that holiday, maybe I have to save, I don't know, £200 a month to be able to buy that particular, well, I have to first decide where I want to go, the holiday, then the funding, then when I can take that time out from whatever my area of business or life is. So it's the same with your goal. You know, once that goal is defined, then you start to think, what are the actual steps I need to do to take to get to that step? Do I need training or coaching? I mean, luckily we have Google this in this day and age. You know, training and coaching are very essential, but you know, sometimes certain courses might not be accessible, but on, you know, on online, you will always find something that will lead you down that pathway. So I think it's getting those defined SMART goals, as you just said earlier. And I'm talking to myself at the moment.
Yeah. Thank you, Fumi. So you've said so many important things. I'm going to pick on the very last thing you just said. You said you're talking to yourself at the moment. I love that you said that. Why? For us in this space, with what we do, every single one of us, we are our first client. Everything we do is actually for us. Everything we do is for us. When I share some things and I say some things, it may sound like I'm talking to you. I'm talking to all of us. I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to me too. Right? So you're your first client. You're talking to you as well. We're actually going to, I said that there are 4 steps. Commitment is the step that talks about what you've just shared. What are the actual steps? So we're actually coming to that. So it's clarity. Maybe I should have spelled it out at the start. It's clarity, courage, commitment, and conviction. Clarity, courage, commitment, conviction. We're still at courage. Why? Because we don't believe in ourselves. We're not going to take any action. We're not going to do a single thing. We can dream the dream as much as we want, and we do need to dream the dream and have the goal, but without believing in ourselves, because courage is the thing that will shoot us in the foot again and again and again. Why? Because it's not easy to build the dream. It's not easy to build the dream. People will disappoint you. You will disappoint you. You will disappoint you. And the dream will seem ever so elusive, and you'll think that you're not worthy. And you will find evidence, hard evidence, to believe that you are not able. You will tell yourself about every single mistake you've done, and some that you haven't even done. You will forget that those mistakes, whilst they may be true, are actually what you need. They actually are the very things you need to set you on the path to where you're going. But your brain will tell you otherwise. Arrested development which is why you can see a grown person acting like a child. Arrested development. They haven't grown past a certain stage, at least not in self-belief, not in self-awareness. They may have all the doctorate degrees in the world. That's not what I'm talking about. But they may not hear. There may still be something missing. And if I challenge you to find anybody who is successful, whatever that is, who hasn't spent time, whether they realize it or not, working on themselves, whether they realize it or not, whether they've done it intentionally is a better way of putting it, whether they've done it intentionally or not, working on themselves. Executives in organizations have executive coaches. What do you think those executive coaches are doing? They're pumping those guys with some serious self-belief, pumping them up. Believe it. So that's courage. Before we leave courage, let me just say, for every step in the journey, we need to dig deeper and develop deeper courage. We've kind of alluded to this when we talked about the 10-story building needs 10 stories below, right? The further you want to go, the more courage, and you will need courage all the time. It's ever evolving, which is why it's important, absolutely crucial even, to surround yourself with people who are going in the same direction as you. I'm going to share something extremely vulnerable. There are many friends I had in the past. I can't spend more than 5 minutes with them right now. I can't spend more than 5 minutes with them. 5 minutes and it's done. It's like, I'm done. They call me and I'm like, oh God, I can't take this call. I can't take this call. I can't take this call. Because I know they're going to mess with my mind and try to bring me down. They're going to tell me everything that's wrong with their life. And when I try to raise the conversation, they will keep taking us back down. And it messes with me here. And if I'm not careful, I'll put down my phone and I will start to believe that nonsense I've just heard. So we really need to be mindful of who we allow in our emotional space. And who is in your physical space will get into your emotional space. There's so much I can share on this. I can teach on this for about 2 years. We haven't got 2 years. Let's move on. Commitment. That's where Fumi took us to just now. What does commitment mean? It means, right, I know where I'm going. I'm doing the work to believe in myself. Okay, what do I do? There's several things you can do. One is model somebody who is on the journey, or someone who, model somebody who's on the journey. 3 steps, 5 steps, 10 steps, 100 steps, model somebody who's on the journey. Speaking of 100 steps, again, I will share something vulnerable. My very first ever coach was Lisa Nichols. She wasn't my first ever coach, sorry. She was my 3rd coach, but she remains my biggest coach. Whilst Lisa taught me a lot, and she did, I am not knocking that. I will never knock that. Lisa was what I consider to be 100 steps ahead of me. I then got another coach who was 10 steps ahead of me. And she was probably even more valuable to me than Lisa. Why? She'd only just left where I was. Lisa left where I was about 1 billion years ago. Some conversations I would have with Lisa, I didn't have a clue what she was on about. And I'm sure the woman didn't have a clue what I was on about. It was a different world. When she did it, when she was 3 years into her journey, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have social media, we didn't have, so Lisa would say things, I'm like, that doesn't really work. Like, you're Lisa Nichols, you can put out a post and you get 100,000 likes. I don't have 100,000 people liking my post, Lisa. Trust me when I say that, right? So it's not that simple. But I got a coach who was literally just a few steps ahead of me, and her advice, her opinions were a lot more relevant to where I was. So my point is, by all means, get someone who's 100 steps ahead, because you need to see the big vision, but don't rule out someone who's a few steps ahead. Don't rule that out. Everybody can teach you something. You're never too young to learn. I lie. You're never too young to teach or too old to learn. Fumi talked about courses. There's lots of stuff you can get on YouTube and Google. I will caution that by saying, be careful, be very careful who you learn from. A lot of stuff out there is complete nonsense. Yes, I said it, complete nonsense. Be careful that you align with someone who's got similar values, someone who knows you and what you're trying to achieve and where you're going, and someone who's done it. There are lots of people who've approached me to say, I can help you with your branding. And when I look at their social media, I'm doing better than them. I'm like, honey, I can help you with your branding. And there's also another thing. There's something called vanity metrics. Be careful with vanity metrics. Some people have got 1 million followers. What's the quality of that data? Right? What's the quality of that data? If they've got 1 million followers who are under 16, and you're looking for women who are 60 and over, that's not useful for you. So be careful with vanity metrics, do your due diligence, and allow your head to also get involved in the process. So yes, do courses. There are lots of online courses. I have done about 1 billion of them. I continue to do them. But whilst you do courses, implement. Don't just be a perpetual student. Please implement. Start to teach what you have learned. That's actually the quickest way to get to your destination. That's the quickest way. Because you can stand still and learn and learn and learn. And then you get to the next day and you learn some more. People who've come behind you catch up with you and they keep it moving. I will share this. I have done so many programs, so many courses with so many people who look at me and think I'm 1,000,000 miles ahead. Not because I actually am necessarily, but because I take action and they're still standing there thinking, what? So move, take action, fail, get up, dust yourself off and keep it moving. That is the fastest way to get to your destination. Keep it moving. For me, use the analogy of a holiday. You can plan your holiday to the nth degree. Until you get to the airport and board that plane, you're not going anywhere. So move. So this is specific now. Actually, everybody on this call, this is relevant to you. You're all now, everybody on this call is over ready to teach, over ready to teach. You don't need to know another thing. What you need to do is to start dumping what you know so you can free up space to learn new stuff. Start teaching, whether you teach free on social media, whether you start to have your own community such as this. And that's another thing. Don't despise humble beginnings. There are webinars I attend that have, I was literally just on a webinar with Dean Graziosi. He had 400 people on his webinar, 400 people, 400 on his webinar. There are 5 of us here. It can be discouraging. And I'm like, well, why am I bothering? I had 4 people on my webinar. But here's the thing. I'm not going to get to 400 if I don't first get to 4. If you have 2, please don't go to your bed in tears. Because you know why? 2 people in the world gave you their time. Please don't disrespect them and their time. Please don't do that. Please don't disrespect them and their time. time is the one thing that nobody will get back. So rather than me think about Dean Graziosi and his 400 people, I'm saying, thank you, Jesus, that 4 people trust me enough to come and listen to me. And I mean that in all seriousness. 4 people trust me enough to listen to me. They value what I have to say enough. How dare I resent the fact that I have 4 people on my webinar? How dare I?
And thank you, Ene. Thank you for your time and for always showing up for us. Thank you.
It means a lot. It really means a lot. I pray I never take it for granted. I pray I never take it for granted. I have a coach. I will say no names. I have a coach who is now in a season of her next level. And the treatment of existing clients is poor, in my opinion. I don't feel seen. I don't feel heard. I don't feel I matter. Because I'm no longer important enough to her for where she's going. That's a shame, especially with the work that we do. Because the work we do impacts people. Don't mess with people's lives and take them for granted. Make them feel like they're really, really important to you, because they should be. So that's what commitment is all about. Commitment also includes knowing why this work is important to you. What's your why? You've probably heard people say, what's your why? What's your why? What's your why? Why is this important to you? Why? Because when challenging times come, when 4 people show up on your webinar or 2 people, let me tell you, 4 people may look bad. Sometimes you get 1 person. My friend got 1 person on her webinar. The 3rd time she tried, the first 2 times she got nobody. Did she give up? Yeah, of course. For 5 minutes, she was like, oh, and I got 1 person. And then we laughed. She did it again. That's what we do, because guess what, ladies? We have to put in blood, sweat, and tears, but we have to be committed to the dream. And knowing why we're doing it keeps us committed to the dream. Keeps us committed to the dream. So why is this important to you? It's necessary that you work out what your why is. Why is this important to you? Why will I show up even when I keep getting knocked down? Why will I not get up and apply? Every day I get emails from recruiters about corporate roles. Every day, literally every day. Why do I put them in my junk folder? Because this is more important to me. Why is this important to me? Because when I see Alina tell me about what she's doing after working with me, and I see the impact in her life, and Fumi goes and does a TEDx talk in South Africa, and Marose tells me she's going to speak to a group of people in church, and Irma has written a book, that lights me up more than any corporate role ever could. Ever could. So what's your why? What's that thing that is a non-negotiable for you? It is because of this thing that I will never give up on this dream. And here's a clue. Your story is part of your why. Your story is part of your why. Your story gives a clue to your why. And part of commitment is also then taking this journey. Let's keep using Fumi's analogy. Part of taking this journey, what do I mean? We need to then start taking steps. So, ladies, I hate to tell you this, but we need to start getting visible. We need to start telling our story. We need to start speaking. We need to speak. We need to speak. And this now leads us into the fourth step, which is conviction. That's then actually doing the thing. That's then actually speaking on stages, using your voice, telling your story, building your community, building your network, transforming people's lives. Oh, hashtag, to transform people's lives, you first have to start with yours. Only transform people can transform others. Start with your life. To change the world, first change your world. First change your world. What transformation have you gone through that you want to help people go through? It's that simple. And that is where speaking, using your voice, telling your story comes in. Learn how to tell your story, learn how to use your voice. For me, I don't know that Alina and Mary Rose were here. Fumi has just come back from a trip to South Africa where she delivered her first, I'm going to insist, her first TEDx talk. Literally, what, a week ago or so? So
Bravo, bravo.
bravo.
Congratulations. Can you send us the recording?
I don't actually have a good recording. It takes about 3 months for them to load it.
Ah.
Recording, which my daughter recorded from the side of the room, so it's not the best aspect, but that's all I have. And I think Denise streamed it, but it was also from a peculiar angle. So yeah, they say it could take up to 3 months for it to be loaded onto the TED channel. So yeah, so that's what I have. I can send you, you know,
Yeah, that would be
No,
great.
please
Yeah,
don't. No, please don't. Sorry, can I suggest
but
that
you
you
like.
don't? Can I suggest you don't?
when
Why?
it's done.
Why? I saw Denise's stream.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it was,
the quality wasn't great. I just wait until it's out and give people the best work that you can put out there. That's
We'll
my
wait. We'll
suggestion.
wait then.
Wait until it's
I-
out.
I agree. Yeah, because when it was streamed, I think the person who was streaming it was standing at a strange angle, and it was done from a weird angle. So yeah, okay, that's good advice. But
You
yeah,
can use it for you, but I would say don't put it out there. Wait until
No,
the thing and just because it was so good.
Yeah.
But the experience could be better. So
Yes.
give us the best experience ever. I'm all about experience. Give us the best experience ever.
Okay, for sure. Thank you for that piece of advice. Because some people have also asked, and I said the same thing, and I haven't sent anything to anyone yet. But I think that's very good advice.
If you send it to people you don't know who may be forwarding it on, and that
Exactly.
would then be people's lasting impression of you, which doesn't do you the justice that you deserve. Wait until TEDx does it, and then you put the proper thing out into the world.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ladies, are there any questions so far?
There's one thing for me anyway, and why I said I was talking to myself earlier. As some of you may know, I stopped going to my 9-to-5 job in May, and I've given myself some time to try and set up, or to pivot into this new career that I want to go into. But I must say that since I've left, I've just felt so lethargic. I just feel like I want to be on holidays and I want to sleep and I don't want to do anything. Though there are things to be done and I've given myself a deadline, I just feel tired all the time. And I'm thinking, I feel as if I've retired. I think that's the message I've put into my head. Like I've retired, but that wasn't why I'm taking the time out. I'm taking the time out to start a new career. So yeah, I don't know how to get out of this, and that's the biggest thing that's going on. But actually, I do know how to get out of it in a way, but I don't even really want to. I don't know if I'm explaining it properly. So that's a big thing for me.
How do you want to get out of it? You say you know how to. How do you think you would get out of it?
Well, by picking up that planner and putting my things into it and setting some goals for myself. So yesterday I did it a little bit. Some emails I needed to send off that I've just been looking at them. I put them into, I didn't actually open my planner. I put them on my phone and I made a list of things to do yesterday. And I made a list of 4 things and I did 3 out of the 4. And I felt really good for doing it. And I just know that without setting a goal or having a plan, you could never achieve anything. So I just want to get my head out of, I just feel like after all these years, I'm resting finally, but I didn't take time out to rest like that, if you know what I mean. So maybe I just need a sort of motivational partner, so we're sort of, iron sharpening iron, and, an accountability person, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So somewhere in the group, I think Mary Rose and a few of the other ladies have formed an accountability group. Have you not, Mary Rose?
With Abraham,
Yeah.
Vicky, and Irma, we are 4.
Oh, and Irma. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's an accountability group in the room, in the community. I would offer 2 other suggestions. The first one is to give yourself some time to just be still, right? Give yourself some time to just be still. And I'm just going to pick out a date. This is just, I don't know about your life. I'm just saying till the end of August, I'm just going to be still and do nothing. For example, right? From the 1st of September, I'm going to start. I think if you are committed to your why, you will wake up every morning ready to get started.
I am committed. I think I am committed to my why, but I just feel like I need to rest. I don't know how to explain. I just feel so tired. I can't seem to sleep enough. And I must say, for many years, I've had lots of sleepless nights. I don't sleep properly. So to have that privilege to be able to not have slept well, but then to sleep later on in the morning just feels really good. And but then I'm not sleeping, I'm not enjoying it because I'm thinking, I feel guilty about doing that. So maybe I should give myself a bit of grace. But what is grace? I don't want to give myself too much grace because there's stuff to be done. Really, there is.
No, which is what, well, here's the thing. But when you give yourself grace, you have to give yourself grace. There's no point saying I'm going to give myself grace and I'm feeling guilty, because then you're not giving yourself grace, right? So commit to a time, end of August. Today is what's today? 17th, 15th, whatever today.
15, yes.
Thank you, 15th. End of
15th.
August. Until the 30th, thank you. Until the 31st of August, I am going to be on holiday. I'm on holiday. I'm having a staycation. I'm in my house, but I'm doing nothing. And I'm not going to feel guilty because this is my holiday. And then from the 1st of September, I start working on my dream.
Yeah.
I think once you start working on it, I mean, this is what happened to me. I can't say it happens to everybody, but once you start working on that dream, ain't nothing stopping you. I don't know. But give yourself grace, rest up, because you are in fact human. You have just come back from South Africa. You did a TEDx talk. You've been on an emotional roller coaster of a journey. I don't think we give ourselves enough grace. I do think that we sometimes put too much pressure on ourselves, and we can't be our best and we can't help people if we're not actually feeling our best. So give yourself grace for a finite period of time, and then just get up and go. But whilst you're on your grace period, be on your grace period. That's what I would say. I don't know if anyone else has anything else to offer.
I can relate to what Fumni is going through, so I'll try and have a conversation. We'll try and catch up and see if I can help in any way, because I've been there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I don't have an accountability partner. I never did, but I'm more than happy to be yours. So if you want to.
Thank you
I'll
for
be-
offering. I'm honored for you to offer to me that. Yeah. Thank you.
Same
Perfect.
here.
Yeah. And
Thank
sorry,
you.
what I wanted to say to you, Fumi, that means you need the rest. Your body needs it. Your body is speaking to you.
Mm.
And sometimes, instead of listening to our body, we listen to what is happening outside, externally. And over people, they don't know what you are going through inside. And they're like, oh, are you being lazy? You know, like the courage, negative. And meanwhile, what you need is to be still, is to be quiet, is to find yourself again, to get back to your source and strengthen yourself for what you want to do in the future. So I think you need the rest. I agree with what Ene said. Take the rest. When your body will rest, your spirit, your soul, everything will cool down. You will surprise the strength that will be birthed out of it. So
Thank you.
that's my
Thank
suggestion.
you.
I find travel to be quite exhausting as well. So don't forget that you've only just come back from South Africa, and your body is probably tired. So
yeah, and Zimbabwe. I went to Zimbabwe as
there
well.
you go. You've come up on that entire tour. It was a 3-country tour, wasn't it? So give yourself grace. I think grace is absolutely paramount and powerful, and I give myself grace all the time. For all sorts of things, for anything, things that before I would have had all this noise up in here. I just say chill. I honestly just say chill. I say you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job because you're doing the work. That already is miles ahead of where you were before. So you've gone a TEDx talk. It's also an emotional journey that you've been on for me. Saying that, I'm not going to encourage you to just sit and be on this endless grace period, because that doesn't help. Right? So, and the people who you are called to serve need you and are waiting for you. So I really would invite you to give yourself some rest and then get cracking.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Ene. Alina.
Thank you for sharing it with us. This is what this
for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else want some? Alma, I'm going to give you some hot seat coaching, whether you put your hand up or not. I'm coming to you last. Anyone else want some hot seat coaching?
What's a hot seat coaching?
Where you come with your question, your challenge, and you get
like I just did.
You go right ahead.
That you just did.
I apologize. I've been going off because my mom is here and she's getting therapy and she's just got people coming for different things. So I'm sorry.
Nothing to apologize for. How is your mom?
Good. Really getting better.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. We just use the word hot seat coaching. Can I share something quickly? Coaching is what we just did is called hot seat coaching, but it's not actually coaching. Why? Coaching doesn't actually involve giving anybody advice. That's not coaching. We often use the word coaching incorrectly. Coaching means asking questions to help the person to derive their own answer. So when Fumi said, I know what to do, and I said to her, what do you know how to do? That was coaching. But then moving on to say, I think you should do this, you should do this, that's not coaching. That's not coaching. So I just wanted to make that point. Coaching
What-
is, sorry?
What is that then? Is that just
That could be just good old-fashioned advice. It could be mentoring. That could be mentoring. So coaching is asking questions to get the person to have insights that get them to their own answer. You do not give anybody any answers in coaching, proper coaching. Mentoring, you help them get to the answer. So mentoring, you may actually guide them there. You may actually do this. So what we just did is more mentoring stroke advice. And then consulting is when you either do it for them, you just say, you know what, fine, I'm going to create the plan for you. And you're going to come and you're going to do that's consulting. So I just want to make us aware that as we all embark on this beautiful journey that we're all on called coaching, that we actually ensure that we coach or not call ourselves coaches or not call it a coaching session if it's not in fact a coaching session. Yes, sir.
What you're talking about is the evocative method of coaching is when you ask questions and the person they come up with the answer themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned in with Mary Morrissey and the Brave Thinking Institute, where I've been studying for a while now. That's the evocative method of coaching. You don't tell
proper coaching. That's coaching. Yeah. Whether it's evocative, that's coaching.
You don't tell people what to do. You just make them realize what it is that they should be doing.
Because it is believed that everybody has the answer. If you have the problem, you have the answer. If you have the problem, you have the answer. So my job as a coach is to help you get to the answer, which is already in you. You just don't maybe have access to it. So the job of a coach is to help you get, so you help them get insights, which create breakthroughs, and the breakthrough gives them the answer. You don't give them the answer, which is why you can have a coach who has no knowledge of what you're trying to achieve. They haven't done it before, but they can coach you just by asking you questions. A mentor has achieved what you're trying to achieve, and they actually guide you because they can, that's the different. I learned that when I did my coaching certification. I'm a qualified executive coach. Hello. So, and I didn't know that. Yeah. So, anybody else?
I said, do you mind me asking, how did you get that accreditation and with whom? Well,
I went to school and I'm doing it again. And I'm doing it again. So I did
who?
with the Gemstone. I'm going to sit down, ladies. I did the executive coaching with the Gemstone Institute, and I'm doing the transformational coaching with the Lisa Nichols.
So the coach, because I want to get a certification as well. That's part of what I'm meant to be doing.
Alina is also on that path. So first of all, decide what kind of this is actually a good conversation for this group. Decide what kind of qualification you want, what kind of coach you want to be. In your case, with your niche, I think you are more a transformational coach than an executive coach. That's what I think. I could be wrong. So again, have a conversation with Alina, because Alina has been doing some research into that.
Okay.
So I will actually share. I will share. I am 9 months out of 12 months into my coaching program with Lisa Nichols. I did my executive coaching in 2022. This year is the transformational coaching program I'm doing. And we're 9 months, so we have 3 months left. We graduate in November. And there's a guy who is one of the trainers. So there's Lisa and there's this guy called Sean Smith, who's one of the trainers. In my opinion, my personal opinion, he's the best transformational coach, hands down. Obviously, I haven't coached with everybody, so that's a very tall statement to make. But he's a great transformational coach. Here's the thing about transformation, though. a lot of people, transformational coaching, I should say, a lot of people go into transformational coaching expecting to be taught how to be transformational coaches, right? That's what you want to be certified in. You may then be surprised when you are actually the person that needs the work the most. That's the way it's done. You're the one who's taken through the journey, and then so that you can then take other people through the journey. So we're being taken through our journey. So we go into class, we're the ones breaking down in tears. I'm like, I came here to learn to be a coach. Well, you have to go through your tears first, darling, so that you can help somebody coming along their journey.
Right.
But speak to Alina. She's done some research. If you need any other questions, ask me when we have our 1 hour
One-to-one, yeah.
Happy to help. We'll speak.
Thank you. Yeah,
And
I was looking at some things today. Yeah, you know, I have been looking, but not quite found the best thing. But I do know that I need some sort of certification, and would like to be, would like it to be with I would like to be known as a certified coach of some sort. You know.
Yeah.
So,
it
you know, I
may
think
be
it's
Sean Smith that's best for you. I'm not saying it is. For Alina's work, I believe it's Sean Smith. I'm not sure. You could also look.
I'm doing Lisa. I'm going for Lisa's retreat in September.
I think he'll be there. I think
Yeah, he is, because I've already had some interaction with him anyway.
So have a conversation with him. I'm not saying he's the best person for you. That's what I'm saying. I don't know that he is.
Yeah.
You may also want to research what's her name? Marissa Peer. I don't know.
Yeah, she mentioned Marissa Peer. Were you in something with her recently?
No. Yeah. Sorry. I was with her at an event, but I'm not in any of her programs or anything. I don't know.
Marissa, is it P-I-E-R?
No, P-E-E-R. P-E-E-R.
Marissa Peer. So she does.
Listen, do the research. I'm not sure. I think she may be relevant for your niche. I think whoever you choose, and this is not, this statement is not for Fumi. This statement is for everybody on this call. Whoever you choose, ensure that that's the best person for what you are trying to do.
Yeah.
Right? What's best for me may not be best for you. That doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just that we have different niches. So I know Alina, I believe Sean Smith is one of the best for Alina. I'm not saying he's not for you. I just can't say that he is. Because he does transformational coaching. But if you can get someone who focuses on, who has a slant on relationships, then that would be great. Sean's slant on relationship is more about parent-child relationship, more than love or adult relationships. As far as I know.
Yeah.
But he's still a good place to start.
Okay.
I've been studying with Mary Morrissey of the Brave Thinking Institute. I'm already certified as a dream builder coach and a life mastery consultant. All I have to do is just
Mary Morrissey
started. I'm sorry.
Did you say Mary Morrissey?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and coming up in September, she has a what's called the Dream Builder Live virtual, and it's the weekend of the 6/15. Give me a second. The weekend of 15, 16, 17th of September, and I get free tickets. And I get to take a guest. I can't do it myself because I'm gonna be serving at the Emmaus retreat. We're back doing the Emmaus retreat in my church.
Right.
So but if anybody is interested, I mean, Fumi, if you're interested in me sending you, I'll find out about getting tickets and I can send you. It's virtual.
Okay, thank you. At that time, I'm gonna be in Mexico. But it doesn't start till the 19th, but I'll be there at that time. But yeah, I would like to know more about it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm open to know more about it as well. Could you put a link? Because I know she used to work with Bob Proctor a lot, isn't it?
Oh, they were great friends. Yes, they
Yeah,
were colleagues.
so I'm doing Bob Proctor's Thinking into Results every day, so I'm on to that all the
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah,
We did that already.
yeah. Did that all in 2020, but I do it every day. I put his videos and I read the books and everything every single day. So I would be interested in that. I know they were very close, so.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you, Irma.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you. For me, what I'm going to invite you to do, and you can even do it now that you're on your break, is just sign up for as many master classes, webinars as you can. You can lie in your bed and just listen to them. I would suggest that you don't sign up with a coach, with somebody to certify you until you have been in that person's space. And space, virtual space, not necessarily in person. Because it's important to vibe, to get the right vibe. I think vibe is really important, right? Because there's so many people who do the exact, I could never, no disrespect, sign up for anything with Marissa Peer. She does nothing for me. No disrespect. She's great at what she does. She does nothing for me. I see her and I'm like, okay. I see Sean Smith and I'm like, Sean, teach me. I see somebody else, I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And who gets my vibe may not get your vibe. So I just learned. That's what I did. I was lucky it was COVID time. The world had gone online. I spent 20 hours out of 24 just going from one class to the next, one class to the next. And then because I've also been in Mary Morris's space, just go to everybody and say, this is where I want to pitch my tent.
Okay. Very good. I mean, I went into funny things. I went into Marissa Peer's just now, and I saw something about self-hypnosis audio, and I thought, wow, this is really the type of thing I like.
Well, there you go. Well, you see. And I do think that she does relationship. I do think she does. She may be the right person for you. I don't know. So sample them all. That's why they have all these free masterclasses. And hashtag YouTube is your friend. Sample them all.
Yeah, I think I just needed some names because there's so many people out there. I sent an email to some guy that I'd seen on TV a few times yesterday. I thought, he talks about relationships. Maybe I sent him an email because I don't, it's like a minefield out there. You're not quite sure what to be looking at. And I think.
No, but tell you what though, no, for me, if you go on Instagram, for example, and you follow Marissa Peer, for example, Instagram will start to send you people like Marissa Peer in your feed.
Right, I see.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Then Instagram will help you. They will send you that stuff. You'll see Dean Graziosi, you'll see Jay Shetty, you'll see Sean Smith. You'll be able to get rid of these people. You see Brendan Bouchard. That's what I get in my feed. All these guys.
Yes. Okay, I'm putting it now.
So it will happen by itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Mary Rose, question from you, my love. If you're talking, we can't hear you. You're still on mute.
Yeah. I'm just taking it in. I'm just taking all the information in.
You're okay, yeah?
Learning as well. Names that I've never heard, I'm just jotting it down and just go and have a look at a read of it as well.
I'm going to invite you all to go to Instagram and start to follow some people. Follow Jay Shetty, follow Sean Smith, follow Marissa Peer, follow Mary Morrissey, follow Lisa Nichols, follow Brendan Bouchard, and you will find Instagram will just give you more and more. Follow Dean Graziosi, follow Tony Robbins. You won't like them all. I'm not saying you like them, but I'm saying Instagram will know that that's your area of interest, and it will give you more like that. You won't have to go and look for those people. You will actually be telling Instagram enough, because that's all you'll get in your feed. That's what I get in my feed, these guys. So allow Instagram to work in your favor. You spend enough time on it doing nothing anyway. Let it help you. Anything else?
Can I just share
Please.
something quickly? As you know, I've committed to a date for my workshop, and I'm following your footsteps, and I am really honored and proud of that. And I am preparing for it. So what I'm doing, I'm going through all my notes and notebooks, and I'm for my whys, to find out the clarity, to break it through into bite sizes, to understand why I started this, to find bits for my story. So I'm going through all my notes and I highlight things that I repeat, and there's a pattern. And then I'm following my footsteps. So this is another way that for me it works. I understand myself and why I started, how I started, and it gives me a bit more clarity, I find, and a bit more courage. So I don't know if it works for anyone, but I think go back and look through your notes, because like you said, and actually it was you that reminded me of that, because you said at your workshop that we're going home and we're putting the notebook in one of the boxes and we never go and look for it, and then we don't open the notes. So yeah, I wanted to go back and have a look of why am I here, why have I started, just to remind myself.
Yeah.
And there's a pattern, so follow that
Everything.
pattern. I think
Yeah.
it
Thank you.
helps.
Stop, if you don't mind me asking.
Sorry?
When is your workshop?
Oh, my workshop is in November 11th of the 11th at 11 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
11 to 5, yes.
Okay, well done.
Love it.
Okay,
Love it.
you.
Love it. Congratulations, Selena.
Thank
congratulations.
you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
More
You know-
details, like to attend.
Yeah. Share the details in the
Oh, I will. I'll send it to you directly. Should I send it?
Put it in the group. People can choose to ignore it or put it in the group.
Okay. Yeah, but I didn't want to just, yeah, but I will if you say it's okay, I will.
Put it in the group. It's fine.
It's your community, it's our community, so
I will love it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in the group.
all right, I
Put the
will.
group.
All right,
Yes,
thank
Emma.
you, Mary Rose. Thank you for me. Thank you.
I just asked for tickets for Dream Builder Live virtual for the two of you. So hopefully I'll get
Thank
a response
Thank you,
sometime.
Emma.
And then,
Thank
but all of this stuff always works better via email. Can you two put your emails in the chat here,
Yeah.
please?
While you're doing that, I want to come back to close us out, and that is all about conviction. I think I touched on it, but I want to say it again. Conviction is about then doing the thing. It's about taking the steps, doing the work. This thing is work. Alina touched on something just now. We go for all these events, we go for all these seminars, we go for all these masterclasses, we listen and we go back home and life just carries on as if nothing happened. And it becomes shelf development until we actually implement. When we're wasting time, there's no point going from meeting to meeting to meeting. We have to implement. We have to do something. That is the only way to progress and to keep learning. Actually, the best way to learn, guess what the best way to learn is?
by doing something, by practicing, by the practical part is the best way to learn. By actually
Repetition.
The best
Repetition.
way to learn is to teach.
Ah,
The best way to learn is to teach. Why? Irma used the word a little while ago, embodiment, certainty. The best way to learn is to teach. I have been talking now for an hour and a half. I have no notes. I have 0 notes. I'm literally just speaking. I have 0 notes. Alina talked about, she says the same thing. I say the same thing. I don't need notes. I've said the same thing. I'm talking to you, nothing. Blank. Blank. Why? Certainty. Anybody who works with Sean Smith will hear him say that word about 1 billion times. Certainty. What does certainty mean?
You ask, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. It means you have done it so many times. Somebody used the word a minute ago, repetition. You've done it so many times. You embody it. It becomes you. You become it. Right? You don't. I'm not saying that we should no longer prepare and practice. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Yesterday I said I want to talk about clarity, courage, commitment, conviction. That was the extent of my preparation. Because I've done it so many times. What's my point? The first few times I did it, I had endless amounts of notes. I was tearing my hair out with notes. Am I going to remember to say this and to say this? And what if I say that? And what if I say that wrong? And I'm like, if I say it wrong, it's fine. If I forget to say it, it's fine. What's meant to come out will come out. But what's the point? I can only get to this stage because I've done it enough times. So just do it rough, do it ready, do it wrong, be bad at it, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again. A lot of the time we want to be perfect before we go. You can't, it's a juxtaposition, it's an oxymoron. You can't be perfect before you go. You get better in the journey. So just go. Do it wrong. Do it with 2, do it with 3, do it with 4, but do it.
Do it scared.
Do it scared. So that when you get the 400, say, hey. You know what we call it at CTTP? 10,000 shots. It's your 10,000 shots. Michael Jordan, 10,000 shots. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing this. That is literally it. I want to invite you all to do it. I want to invite you all to keep learning or to get started. 10,000 shots.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Please.
What I've noticed is I go through the notes, and even when I'm the one giving the sermon at church, I use those words as embodiment. And, you know, even me, I can see my confidence is growing and the way they are receiving it. And I'm just using it in what I love the most. And, you know, always going picks one word and, you know, put the seasoning. And when I look at the face of the members, I can see how they're smiling and how they're like, you know, I can feel the transformation is something is happening in them. So I've just realized that this is the opportunity for me to be able to practice everything that I learned from you. And I can see it's already transforming lives. Even my friends, it's transforming lives.
Amen.
Yeah.
I can see it too. I can see it too in you, Mary Rose. Amen. I can see it too. I can see it too. I want to share a story before I let you go. last week, thank you so much for that, Myros. It was actually you who said the word embodiment. It was you. Embodiment is certainty, just doing it. Last week, I gave a talk not far from here. And I shared the stage with some other ladies. And one of them, before she delivered her talk, she says, oh, let me just tell you what I want to share when I go up. So I said, yeah, tell me. And she talks about all this stuff. She's a money coach. She talks about money and helping people manage their money better. I'm going to share about how they have this money and they must have all these different pots for their different money, and how they have a gap in their money, and how they must mind their mindset with their money. And she told me all this stuff. And I was like, okay. And she stopped. And I said, okay. And she says, you look like you're waiting for more. I said, well, what are you going to, where are you going to tell your story? She says, I can't tell my story. I haven't got time for my story. I have so much to deliver and I have a little amount of time. I'm just going to give them the information. I was like, nah, you're not going to do that. You're not I just met the woman. I was like, nah, you're not doing that. I don't know you, but I'm telling you now, you're not doing that. I'm not going to let you go on that stage and just be talking about money like this. You're not doing that. You are going to tell your story. She says, I haven't got the time. I said, you haven't got the time not to. Because you'll be wasting their time and your time if you don't tell your story. Because guess what? All this thing you're talking about is here. They want this. You're talking here. Your content is absolutely fabulous. I'm not knocking your content. But your content without your story, it won't stick. The story is the glue. And she says, huh. And I said, try it and see. Fortunately for her, I don't know. I went up before her. I spoke before her. And I don't know if that was the reason why, but I shared my story. And she saw the response that I got. Even if I say so myself, that was the best speech I've ever delivered in my life. Even if I say it myself. I don't know what happened, but for me, it was the best. I shared a little clip of it on social, yeah. She then went up immediately after me and she shared her story. The woman got a standing ovation. The woman and then she came to me afterwards and said, that standing ovation was for you. And I said, honey, it wasn't. It was for your story. Please, ladies, do not ever go anywhere and not share even a snippet of your story. You'll be doing yourself and your audience a disservice. Don't do it. Even in 10 seconds, if somebody says to you, what do you do? They're actually asking for your story. What do you do is still your story. I help women who are looking to create a next chapter of their life. They've been successful in one season. They know that there's more. And the reason why I'm passionate about this is that for 3 decades, I wanted to be more, but I didn't have the courage. And so now I help women like me to find the courage to step into their next chapter. That must have been, 12 seconds? And I can probably even do better than that. That's still a snippet of my story. Because what they'll say is, oh, really? Tell me more. Sorry, Fumi, you're going to say something?
I said it's like an elevator pitch.
But it's not even a 3-minute elevator pitch. It's a 10-second elevator pitch.
10 seconds.
Because an elevator pitch is 3 minutes long, or can be. This is 10 seconds. Still give a little snippet to your soul so that they come in with you into your story. That's what I wanted to share before I let you go. You know that there's a storytelling class on Saturday, 12 noon. Tell me the experience of this. What's it been like? The lighting, it hasn't been that bad, no?
It hasn't been bad. No, it was really good. Thank you so much. The content is
Very good.
everyone very good.
Thank you.
You have light in there.
Sorry, say that again.
You have excellent lighting. Excellent light. I think it's better than anyone else's.
Great, great as usual, Annie. Thank you so much.
And the top content was brilliant, as always.
Thank you. So I'm going to be in exactly the same spot on Saturday. Thankfully, it's just us again. So I don't need to, I can just be myself. I'll probably stand for a while and then sit again. So anyway, thank you, ladies. But before I let you go, what's been the value of today? What's been the value of today? One or two words each. What's been the value of today?
Clarity on how to move forward. I definitely got that.
You definitely got that.
Yeah, definitely got direction on a lot of things I've been going through. So clarity.
Good. I'm glad.
If I'm committed to my why, I will get up in the morning excited to work on it.
I love that.
So
for me, it's the second part of the clarity. It's worth, because it can take so much time to break everything into little pieces, like probably the most time out of all. So yeah, committed to do that. It's worth it. So thank you for that.
It is worth it. Thank you for that. Thank you. Marie-Rose?
For me, it's courage. As you said, courage is always coming after you. Courage is always trying to bring you down. And it's for me to make sure that I do not give room to courage to come and mess about with me. No, it's that the part that I'm going to work at it and strengthen myself, that I may get, because if I have the clarity and I don't overcome courage, I won't be able to move forward. So I know that the part that is my weak point, and I'm going to work on that.
Yeah, thank you for that. So awareness is powerful. The fact that you have the awareness is the key, right? And to be honest with you, Marie-Rose, we need courage in every step of the journey. You're so right. I said clarity, courage, commitment, conviction. That suggests that courage just sits in its own little world. It's not true. We need courage in clarity. We need courage in courage. We need courage in commitment. We need courage in conviction. We actually need courage in conviction the most. Why? Because of this, what we just talked about. You do a webinar and you get 2 people. You need courage to say, no, it's not about my self-worth. I'm going to keep doing it, which then goes back to your why, which then gives you more certainty and embodiment. Can you see how it all actually is all interwoven? And then when you become successful, people will say, oh, you are so lucky. And they will wonder why you brought out your gun and shot somebody. Right? They will wonder why you became a murderer. When someone has the nerve to say, oh, you're so lucky, you're an overnight success. So yeah, courage is—
They only seen above the water, not below the water. Yeah, the iceberg.
That's it, the iceberg. And they only see what happens at the end. They don't see you putting in the midnight oil, working all stupid hours that God sends. They don't see that. They just, right? So, ladies, I thank you. And I will see you again soon. And Fumi, I look forward to hearing from you so we can have our final official call. Then it will just be the bonus score left. Please gather all your questions, so we can deal with everything in one go. Alina, good luck. I will see you soon. Alina, I'll see you on Saturday.
Yes.
Irma, I'll see you on Saturday. Marie-Rose, I'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you so much.
Y'all take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Annie.
Ladies.
Thank you, ladies. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.